Hello and welcome everybody. My name's Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com. Thank you for joining me for the wonderful Aries May horoscope. It's another big month this month, dear people. We have Mercury retrograde in Gemini. We have Jupiter changing signs and houses. There's a lunar eclipse in Scorpio at the end of the month. If you're in Australia and New Zealand, you also have a partial solar eclipse on the 1st. In other countries, you would have had this on the 30th of April. And that's in Taurus, in your second house of dollars, possessions and the things that you value. So a lot of significant energy shifts this month. Things are changing, and it's particularly important for you, awesome Aries, because a lot of this activity is going on in your sign, which is really quite a good omen, especially with Jupiter. Jupiter increases everything it touches, and so it's a big time of new beginnings. Alrighty, very simply, just briefly explain what I do. I like to draw two tarot cards as theme cards for the month for you, and then we'll have a look at your horoscope in depth. If you're new, subscribe and be alive and hit that notification bell right now. Okay, let's go to the board and draw these two cards before we look at your horoscope. Alrighty, so theme cards for Aries for May. I see parrots, and these are the Australian, I'm not sure if they're rosellas, the yellow, blue, red, green, you know, those really bright parrots. I think they're called eastern parrots, actually. If you know anything about birds, do let me know. Anyway, this says that there's a lot of vibrancy coming into your life, that maybe things where you felt a bit, places where you felt a bit dull and jaded are brightening up in some way. Birds are also about looking at the big picture and also denote some degree of freedom. Okay. Alrighty, I can see this one right in front of me even with my eyes open. The most striking thing is the gold yellow chest and the blue wings. And so this is about energy coming up, rising up from the solar plexus. You could have quite a lot of success this month, especially if you're starting new projects, and you'll see there's so much energy going on here in your first house, your sign. Let's pick the cards and see what they say. The Hierophant. Okay, this is wonderful for knowledge. It's just started to rain, if you can hear a strange noise. So hopefully it won't come through the window. Okay, so this is about somebody who can learn a lot, or perhaps they can even teach, they know so much. But you'll see that she is seated on 3 books here. So it's important that you don't sit on your knowledge. She is wearing red, which means it's a time for action, okay? So taking action with the knowledge that you have. She has the Book of Life here with 2 keys. I often think these keys are knowledge and wisdom, because you need the wisdom to know how to apply the knowledge, okay? But it's a very beneficial card, and it says that you're going to be in the know about lots of things. So, let's see if you can work out how you're supposed to use that knowledge. It's a major arcana, and it starts your month off. All right, let's look at the second half of the month now and see what we can get. I'm going to go with this card here. Closing my eyes now. Just a brief flickering of the birds, those Australian parrots coming in, and the door opening up. It's a sort of blue-grey door, so feeling a bit sort of dull, again, that kind of theme. But then there's this brilliant white light on the other side, which is almost like a shock because it's so brilliant. And this is about insight and awareness. So you're going to find out something this month that you didn't know before, and you might be very surprised by what you find out. The card that comes up is the Fool card. This is about a new undertaking that you don't really know because you've never done it before, or there's some sort of naivety around a new undertaking. You see here she's just about to step up off the precipice. Maybe it's leaving a job or leaving a relationship, but there's a little dog here. These are sort of like, if it's in the relationship, the other person might be trying to hold you back, or even your friends and family could be trying to hold you back in some way. But again, the colour is red, and the parrot has red in it as well. And red is about taking action, okay? So it's being, you know, like full on going for something. It's interesting because today my theme colours are blue and red that I've picked for this video. So that's interesting. The green here, growth and opportunity. She's got a little travelling bag here. Maybe you do feel like travelling, you know, and other people don't think it's a good idea. But the thing about stepping off this precipice here is either she's going to grow wings and fly and really be in her element, or she'll sink to the bottom of the ocean. But even that doesn't matter, because down in the subconscious waters of the ocean you can still find really good things like sunken treasure chests, things, gifts, maybe they're natural innate abilities that you've sort of forgotten about or never followed or never practiced, or, you know, you could go back to something in the past that was like a natural gift that you got too busy for. Perhaps you had some babies or something like that. You went off and got married and did other things and concentrated on a career. You did something and got sidetracked from the natural gifts that you already have. But either way you look at it, whether she sinks or she flies, there's some beneficial energy here. Okay, very interestingly, you've got two major arcana, which is very significant because that doesn't often come up. All right, awesome Aries, let's look at your horoscope now. This is called an independent chart because most of the activities are on the eastern side of the chart, the eastern horizon, the things that are coming towards you. It's like when the sun comes up, you know, you've got the new day, and so new things coming towards you and a lot of energy. Venus is also moving into your sign and Jupiter into your sign, and a lot of activity here. Now you see Chiron there almost getting crowded out, and Mars as well, your ruler. Chiron is the wounded healer. You might be reminded of something in the past that happened that, you know, is still a bit hurtful, but with all this brilliant activity around here, it could be that there's some sort of healing in that awareness for you. So it's nothing to be afraid of or anything like that, just a tender spot, you know, that if you look into, you'll probably be much better off. Mercury in retrograde from the 10th of May to the 3rd of June here in your third house. I'll talk about that in a moment. And the lunar eclipse in Scorpio in your 9th house. I'll talk about that. All right, so let's make this a bit bigger so you can see it. And I'm just going to go like that. Okay, do bear these two cards in mind. I'm going to put them here on the side, the Fool and the Hierophant. So, you know, learning and perhaps even teaching and stepping out into a new world, a new project, taking a bit of a risk. Alrighty, so for Australia and New Zealand only, because you would have had this, you will have this, it's actually the 15th of April I'm doing this. In other countries on the 30th of April, this solar eclipse in the second house. So a solar eclipse brings new beginnings, and there in the second house, it's all about your possessions, your finances, the things that you value. And it's also in Taurus. So, you know, Taurus likes things that are quite grounded. It's not about, you know, silly ideas or spending money. You know, you have to be a bit careful of that this month because Venus is trying to probably influence you to fritter your money away on beautiful things. So just watch that. And it's a great time to maybe look over your finances and see, what you can do. Can you improve in some way, or can you save money? It's important to buy things that have practical value rather than, just frittering away money. 1st of May to the 28th of May, Venus moves into your sign here. This is fabulous for beauty, harmony, peace. Maybe you want, a beautiful environment where you live or where you work, graciousness, politeness. It's like you may try to avoid any unpleasantness. Even if that was necessary to happen, you would avoid it most probably. And you probably want to use charm and sort of gentle kind of persuasion to get your own way rather than being overly forceful. That's fine. Pleasure and affection may seem more important to you. And the looks, how something looks. So you might be more interested in your makeup, new clothes, new hair. Just don't go overboard, as I said before, as I suggested. From the 28th of April to the 8th of May, Jupiter sextiles Pluto. This is fabulous for dealing with large organisations, the government, and influential and powerful people. So you might get some help here. And even if they said no or they weren't helpful in the past, it's like there could be a change of heart. Maybe you ring up Centrelink if you're in Australia, you get somebody different and they're actually helpful. 28th of April to the 8th of May, Jupiter conjuncts Venus. This is fabulous also because if there's something that you always wanted but you thought you couldn't afford it, then you're more likely to spend money to get it, which is fine to a certain degree, but if you really can't afford it, it's not so fine. So the urge to splurge is very strong at the moment, and if you're dieting, it's probably not the best time to diet because you'll be feeling like every chocolate under the sun and every Oreo and every lollipop you can find, perhaps. But on the other hand, it is a great time for going to parties and social gatherings. And you'll probably have a really good time if you do go out and there's lots of fun. Just watch the overspending. 5th of May until the 27th of October, Jupiter moves into your sign here, which is fabulous for you because it brings a lot of optimism and a lot of confidence. You're feeling more positive about yourself and you tend to radiate these qualities. So, people are picking up your confidence, and so you might find there's more opportunities coming to you as well. You could aim higher in life, and there's this sort of expanded sense of possibilities and hope for the future. And just watch you don't go overboard with the food. Jupiter in the first house often does sort of influence people to eat more because everything that Jupiter touches expands. And I've got this in my natal chart and it is just something that you have to watch. Okay, 5th of May to the 15th of May, Jupiter conjuncts your ascendant, which is absolutely wonderful. Again, this is just another sign of more confidence, more positivity and optimism in your life. And it's like you're going to project yourself that way. People are going to sort of see a new you, so to speak. It's a great time for making your work public, doing exhibitions, public speaking even, because you're going to get more attention than usual and you're going to reach a wider audience. The only possible downside besides the, eating too much is that you maybe have grandiose ideas and you haven't researched them enough because Jupiter does give so much confidence. So if you're going to do anything new, it can probably work out, but you need to always do the research and do the work. 5th of May to the 15th of May, Jupiter squares your MC, and so that's likely, see, it's going to come in here, and here's your MC, so it makes a nice 90-degree angle, which does, you know, a square does sort of represent some sort of challenge or tension. And you could be looking for a new job now, or an increase in salary, perhaps your reputation, you're becoming, you know, more well known, people have heard of you, and so you could benefit that way. But again, don't go overboard with anything. You probably will succeed, and also your mannerisms, your appearance and your attitudes are likely to suit whatever you go for, okay? And people just like the energy around you. It's just, have a reasonable sort of sense of proportion at the moment. 16th of May, the lunar eclipse in Scorpio here in your 9th house. So this is about education. Remember this card about the knowledge, retraining, teaching, learning. Okay, you could be teaching what you're learning simultaneously or something like that. And so a lunar eclipse can bring a bit of turbulence. It shakes things up a little bit. But it is a great time to go on a mini vacation and try and enjoy yourself a bit. You know, think about your daily life and how you spend your time, and you know, look at some way that you can expand your horizons. The 9th house is also called the house of the higher mind, so you might, you know, look at your not only what's going on analytically, you know, with knowledge per se or training or education, but also your spirituality and, you know, your philosophy on life and things like that. But it could be that you've also much more interested in foreign countries, or there's some sort of connection with foreign people. The 12th of May to the 23rd of May sees Jupiter sextiling Mercury. This is fabulous for your communications and your long-distance communications. So here's another thing about foreign connections, and also business dealings are likely to go quite well. And in any business that you're dealing with, even if it's just ringing up on the phone, isn't that an old-fashioned saying? Ringing up. That's what we say in the old days. It's like, what would you say? You'd say calling someone. You're likely to get a helpful person who, you know, really does care and help you out in some way. It's a great time to advertise and publish, engage in mass media communications, especially with all of this activity down here in your 3rd house as well. The 3rd and the 9th, they sort of activate each other. And people are just sort of interested in what you've got to say, and you might find that you're noticing other people get stuck in sort of petty disputes or pettiness, and it's like you rise above that and get on and make some really good progress. The 18th to the 22nd sees Mercury conjuncting Mercury, and you're likely to be quite mentally sharp, clear and alert, but do watch when Mercury is retrograde. And the dates of that, I think it was the 10th of May to the 3rd of June. So just be careful of Mercury retrograde there, because sometimes signing contracts or miscommunications can happen, but it's a great time to finish things off before that date, okay, before the 10th of May. Then we have 19th to the 21st of June. The Sun moves into your 3rd house here of communications. This is fabulous. You're likely to be quite busy. It's an active time with lots of calls and commercial transactions. You could sort of fritter away your time, but there's a fair bit of socialising and chatting with people, which isn't a bad thing anyway. 22nd to the 13th of June, Mercury moves into your 2nd house here. Now, it is retrograde here, that's why it's going backwards, And second house is about money, so and your possessions. It's not a good time. Be extra careful when you're spending money. Again, I have to say for the fourth or fifth time, be careful with your finances and don't fritter away your money. There could be some sort of miscommunication about money here. 20th to the 24th, Mercury sextiles ascendant. It's an excellent time to be out and about. There's lots of opportunities to meet new people and exchange information. There could even be some sort of chance encounter with somebody, it's got a sort of fated quality to it perhaps. Lots of productive conversations now. And then we have 23rd to the 4th of July, Mars, your ruler, moves into your sign now. You're likely to have more energy. You're quite forthright and direct. Of course, don't go overboard because Mars has a ton of energy. Maybe you don't feel so patient or conciliatory now. So watch for impatience and irritability. And it's a time to act. But, think about it first. Mercury sextiles Venus from the 23rd to the 27th. Very friendly, cooperative and harmonious time now. Great for social activities. You probably don't want to get involved in heavy discussions. Probably don't want to discuss politics or religion. But, yeah, a favourable, optimistic time. 23rd of May to the 27th, Mercury trines Pluto. Again, great for conversations, but these could be more in-depth conversations one-on-one with somebody, and you could be asking quite penetrating questions with that Pluto energy there. Almost like superficial answers really don't satisfy you. You really want to get to the core of the problem. You might find that mystery novels or movies and things like that might be more interesting for you. And you could also look for something that's been lost or hidden and it turns up. Okay, so we have the 27th of May to the 22nd of June, Venus in your second house. Again, watch your money because Venus loves beautiful things and she will really influence you to buy these beautiful things. She likes sweet things too, like desserts and cakes and stuff like that, I know. And despite that, though, it is a great time to invest in beautiful things like art and jewellery, okay, things that will increase in value. And finally, on the 30th of May, the new moon moves into your third house. And so this is likely to bring new beginnings in communication and interaction with other people. And just with that, we all have our sort of history that we carry with us all the time. And so sometimes we're influenced by our history and our experiences. Do leave the door open for new experiences to enter your life, because the situation now is not exactly 100% the same as the past, okay? So that's fine. It's fine to make subjective assessments about things, but yeah, just be aware of it. Okay, so that is your horoscope, and those are your cards. Awesome, Aries. So I hope this is helpful for you. Let me know in the comments. If you're new, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit that notification bell right now. Have a wonderful, insightful month. I know you will because there's so many fabulous influences for you this month. Okay, I'll catch you again soon, and subscribe and be alive if you're new. Okay, thanks and bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.